Welcome to a KeySmash Studios tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to change levels. I'm going to tie this changing of levels to an input mapping, so that way I can have my player go to the next level or go to the previous level. As you're watching, if you find this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. So to go ahead and begin, we'll create that input mapping. We'll go up to Edit, Project Settings, down to Input, and we're going to make it an axis mapping. So you just drop this down. I'm going to rename it to Change Level. I'm going to tie it to my X button, and I will leave this as a scale as 1, and that will take me to the next level. And then I'm going to add the Z button, and I'm going to change this to -1, and this will take me to the previous level. Now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and open up the character controller. This project is a C++ project using Unreal's third-person template, and I'm just going to add the code for our level switch to their third-person controller. However, you don't need their specific character controller, any character controller will do. So I'm going to start off by adding our new function and a parameter to the bottom of their class. So the function is just going to be a void, and I'm going to call it switch level. And then we need to give it an argument of float, and I'm going to call it direction. And this is just going to be how we inform this function, whether we pressed X and are going in the positive direction, or clicked Z and are going in the negative direction. And then our property is going to be a T-array. It's going to be of F strings. And this will be our level names. I also actually need to go up to the top and add an include. This is going to allow us to use Unreal's OpenLevel function, and it's going to be KeySmash/gameplay statics.h. And now we can go ahead and go over to the CPP. And we're going to start in the constructor. Here we're going to go ahead and set the values for our maps. I'm just going to be using the maps that are already inside this project. So this map, which is the third-person example map, and then there's also these maps, and I'm going to use the starter map and the minimal default. So back to our script. The way we do this is we take the levels, which was our T-array, and we do .add. And then you add the names of your maps, and the order does matter. Whatever you add first is going to be the first one in your array. So if you're wanting to have a specific order to your levels as your player goes through them, then you need to make sure that the order that you add them here is the order that you want them to iterate through. So I'm going to have my first map be the third-person example map that we're already on. And then I'm going to have my second map be that starter map. And then I'll do a third level, and this is going to be the minimal default map. And you want to make sure that all of these are spelled right. Now that we have our map names added to our array, we can go ahead and add the action. So we're going to do player input component. We're going to do bind. This is actually an axis. And we called it change level. We're binding it to this, our character, and the function that we're binding is a switch levels tutorial character class function called switch level. And all this line of code does is it says that we're going to take this axis mapping we specified in our project settings called change level, which we tied to our X and Z buttons, and it's going to say whenever this character clicks on either of those buttons, call the switch level function of this class. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and actually create that function. So it was void, and then it's a switch levels tutorial character switch level, and then its argument was a float called direction. And then the first thing we actually want to do inside here is make sure that there is a direction. Axis mappings are continuously called whether you're pressing the button or not, and so we want to make sure that a direction has been passed. So we just do that by checking if there's a direction, and then if there is, we want to go ahead and get the current map name. So we're going to do fstring current, and the way we do this is by getting the world, and then from that world we get the map name. And this will return the name of the current map. However, if you're in the editor, it adds a prefix to the front, and we want to get rid of that prefix. And so we can do this through some built-in functions that Unreal provides. So we're going to take our current map name, and then we're going to remove from start. And what we're going to remove from the start is going to be our prefix that Unreal provides it when you're in the editor. So the way we get that prefix is by getting the world again, and then we're going to get the streaming level prefix, and that's what we're removing from the start of this current. And now that we have the current map name, we can figure out where we are in terms of level in that array that we've created, and the way we do this is through a for loop. So we're going to do for int I equals 0, I is less than levels.num, then I++. And as we're iterating through our levels in this for loop, we want to see at which index our level name matches the current name. So we're going to do if current equals levels I, then we know that our current level matches our point in the array. So at this point, we can go ahead and say whether we're going to our next map or our previous map, but we do need to do some handling so that way our array doesn't go out of bounds. So for instance, if we're at the first map in our array, in other words, the 0 index, and we're trying to go back a map, in other words, we're looping back around to that end map, then we need to make sure that we don't go to -1. We want to go to the end of the list instead. And the way we do that is by saying if I equals 0, we're at the beginning of this array, and the direction we're trying to go is less than 0. In other words, it's negative, we're trying to go back a map. We don't want to go to -1, so what we do is we set our I to be equal to levels.num. If you wanted your player to be restricted to where they could only go forward to 0, they couldn't loop back around, then you could have a break inside here instead, so that way they go out of the for loop. And now we need to handle if the player is at the end of the array and wants to go back to the beginning. So the way we check that is if our I is equal to levels.num -1. The reason we have the -1 here is because levels.num gives you the amount of elements you have in your array, which in this case is 3, but our indexes go from 0 to 2, and so when we're at that final element on our array, we're not at levels.num, which is 3, we're at index of 2, which is levels.num -1. So when we're at that 2 value, then we can go ahead and make sure that our direction is trying to go in the forward direction. In other words, our direction is greater than 0, and this means that we're trying to loop back around. And if we're doing that, then we want to set our I to equal -1. And again, if you're not wanting your player to wrap around, you can just put another break inside here, and then they'll only be able to go in the negative direction when they're at their final element. And now we can go ahead and open our level, and the way we do that is through gameplay statics, OpenLevel. The first argument is the world, so we're going to do get world, and the next argument is the name of our level, but this is an F name and not an F string, so we need to convert our F strings to an F name, and to do that you just put F name, and then we're going to put our string in its parameter, so it's going to be levels, and then we want to do the I, but we want to do the I plus the direction that our player is trying to go. So the reason we have the i's in those two if statements going to something that would be out of range, in other words levels.num and -1, is because when we go to open our level, we add that direction to it. So for that first if statement, when we're going in the negative direction, our I would then be 2, which is our last level. And for the second if statement, our I would be -1, but our direction is positive, so then our I would be 0, and we'd go to that first level. And now we can go ahead and break. And the reason we have the break is because we don't need this code to keep going after we found the correct level that we're wanting to go to. So we can go ahead and save. And I'm actually going to change this to an else if, because those two statements will never be true, so if the first one is true, we don't need to bother checking the second one. And that's all the code, but before we go back to the scene, I just wanted to mention you don't have to do this with input components. You could use a trigger box and call this function inside that trigger box, so that way when the player overlaps with that box, then they go to the next level. If you wanted to be scene-based instead of keyboard-based, you could also tie it to a button on the screen, so that way it could be UI-based instead as well. However, for this tutorial, it's just quicker for me to show you how to do this through those input components. But now we're all done, so we can go ahead and go back to our scene and compile. And now that our compile has completed, we can go ahead and test and play. So as you can see, if I click X, I go to the next level. If I click X again, I go to that minimal default level. And if I click Z, I go back to that starter map, and Z again, and I go back to the third person example map. We can go in whichever direction we want, and it iterates us through those maps. So as a recap, we created a function that allows us to iterate through levels both in a forward and backward direction. And the way we did this is through keeping track of our level names inside a T-array and iterating through them to see what level we're currently on, and checking the direction the player is requesting to go in, and then calling Unreal's OpenLevel function so that way the player can go to that level. As always, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can leave them in the comments, or you can join our Discord and ask them there. We make videos here every Wednesday and Saturday, but we also stream on Twitch Tuesday and Wednesday. We have a game on the Google Play Store called Blast Off, and we have an asset pack of kids' toys on the Unity store. We also have a Patreon, and if you would like to support us in any of those ways, all of those links will be in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.